This is from the fundamental book by Kageyama. It is said that there's a difference between the amateur, the high amateur, and the professional. It is said that the professionals overwhelmingly will choose to play here on G17, whereas the rank beginner would also choose G17. Professionals would not consider A. And Kageyama, interestingly, was thankful that the enemy chose G17. However, his professional colleagues overwhelmingly would have chosen G17. This means Kageyama himself, being humble, says he would have considered A the way that a high amateur would choose. So here, for different reasons, the professional just has a proper move. They don't question, they don't think about any other move. It's really just clear and simple that even if the enemy comes out on C, they do not worry about it. And some sequence like this, they would just not worry. Such like as this taking. So the point is, professionals have a certain way of thinking about things and they automatically go to the proper move, and this for them is considered the proper move. They don't really waste time arguing about the rest of it, and they don't really spend much time thinking about it. It's just pure and obvious, intuitive and automatic. So that's something to be aware of. In this sequence, G17 is the right move without overcomplicating. So this is the net. Along the same lines, in this ladder situation, you can actually manipulate the situation such that you can make it into a net. And the good thing about the net is it takes one stone, because if you play the ladder at A using black, then you actually have to complete the capture by B. However, if you shoulder hit right here, then it only takes one move and this is captured, and this is actually a net because this and this and you're using this stone here that's already in place as part of your ladder. So several things happening here. Number one, your reading ability has to be on point to be able to tell that the M17 is part of the ladder and you can use it. And so quite a few pieces have to be in place for this to actually take place, but it goes along with the practice of ladder reading. This is ladder reading at the next level, to know that the M17 stone is part of the ladder. At some point you become intuitive in knowing that that's the case. Versus without the M17 stone, you would have to use A and B to complete the capture. But because M17 is already there, you already have the extra stone, so you don't need to play the extra B stone after playing A. So you can go directly to the shoulder hit. So this is something to improve. As we get better at ladder reading, we will face this more. Same thing if they come this way. If they come this way first, you just block, and then same thing using M17 as the final stone for the ladder. So that's what Kageyama was talking about when he said it only took one move. It's because of the M17. Actually, after re-examining, we really didn't even need the M17 stone. It could just look like a direct setup into the edge. So we can actually do this, and it's kind of a silent bent ladder. And I wonder if we actually use this to avoid ladder breakers. Because if you did the ladder the regular way, you would have a ladder breaker somewhere along this line. But by using this particular ladder setup where you have 2 stones here and 2 stones here, meaning that this stone here on P17 is not vulnerable, then you can actually squeeze it to the side even without the M17, not that I look at it. And you even have an extra move here that actually white could actually go here and you're still fine, and you can just go to K19. So the key here actually is not so much the M17 stone, but the P18 stone. That is what makes this ladder work. And here's the other variation where we go straight this way, shoulder hit, and bend it towards the edge. So this is like a pretty cool ladder that avoids the ladder breaker. Somebody might feel complacent and feel that if they had a white stone here at D5 or so, that they're safe from the ladder, but they're not, because this turns out to be a killer. Except people don't even know it. People don't even know that this is a ladder break. But the question is, couldn't somebody rescue this stone by somehow playing a white stone here somewhere? So these are the questions that isn't really answered by the book, but I can see how it could come up, because this doesn't look like a ladder at all. So nobody's alerted to the fact that this stone is dead, and if white plays anything here, then that could break the ladder. In which case, I guess we'd have to play a stone here, a black stone here on O16 to make sure we capture this stone, because the ladder breaker could be here. So those are the considerations. But for now, let's just be kind of intrigued by this particular second way to do the ladder that isn't entirely obvious to the untrained eye. All right, continue the same set. Here is a situation where it's asked, should we go at A, or, should we go at the shoulder hit, or should we just go at it with the shoulder hit? Obviously, the shoulder hit would be fine because black would just be able to capture. And that's fine. But here Kageyama throws another curveball. He says that this move is actually the right move. The other move is wrong. And he says this move is easy to overlook. And then now A and B, the Atari at block 1 is the correct answer. If white comes out at A, black plays at B. And that's a net. Black nets him with B. Of course, black won in diagram 7, meaning the previous one where you just played the shoulder hit, this one. Of course, black won in diagram 7 captures white just as surely, but when there's two ways to capture with one move, the firmer way is the correct way. It's worth reflecting upon the value of the firmness of black played here instead of the shoulder hit. So this is the intricacies of working on the fundamentals of ladder and getting good at ladder reading. It allows you to make these on the fly reads that is more firm one way or the other. This is the firm way with a net, and you're done here. So there's a lot to ladders.